Glenna, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Naughty Giraffe, where I talk about the different things that I'm making. It has been, I guess, about 4 weeks since I recorded last, and I've been really busy. I had my biggest stained glass sale of the year at Lake Country Art Walk, which was just phenomenal. I brought 19 window panes with me and sold 15 out of the 19, which is just, you know, unheard of, huge. So it was great. And I did a grass weaving basket course with Annabelle Stanley, which was good. My basket looked more like a wreath, so it has ended up on my front door. But you're not here to hear about those. We're here to talk about knitting today. And I've got quite a few finished objects and some works in progress to show you, and a brand new cast on. So yeah, here we go. I'll start with what I'm wearing. This is another one of my humulus sweaters that I made. I made this one out of Drops Air, and it is like my softest, most coziest sweater that I've ever owned. I think I wear this thing almost every day. I nicknamed it my mosquito sweater during the summer because it's so soft that I can actually wear it right on my skin, and I have very sensitive skin to a lot of rough wools. So I love this because I can just put it on over a tank top or whatever. And it was great because it's thick enough that the mosquitoes can't bite through it. So so when the mosquitoes were bad back in the beginning of July when I was camping, I wore this just about every hike I went on because it stopped the mosquitoes from being able to get me. Whoops, not Drops Air, sorry. It was Drops Sky that I made it in. The colorway was number 28. I don't know, it's a forest green color. It's a, yeah, the Drops Sky. It's a super soft baby alpaca and merino wool. So anyhow, moving on to some of my finished objects. I got into a, I know winter's not here yet, but I found this free pattern called the Wintergreen Headband. And I knit the first one, which I'll just put it up close so you can see. It's a cable knit. And yeah, like I said, it's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'm just trying to see if I can find who, I have the pattern here, who it's by. And of course I don't, oh, there's my glasses. Hold on. Always helps when you can see what you're looking at, right? The Wintergreen Headband by Lizzie Knits, it's called. The pattern is by Erin Gates. I'll put a link to it because I did get it off of Ravelry, and I just had some old yarn in my stash, and I wondered whether it would work, and so I did a swatch, and it was too thin, so I found another ball of yarn from my stash and held the two together, and oh, there goes my cat. My dog Gallagher wants in, apparently. I'll let him in a sec. Anyhow, it turned out so nice that I actually made a second one because, yeah, I thought, wow, they're the perfect size for covering your ear and your head. Just the right tightness. I wear a lot of headbands in the winter because I have long hair. I tend to put my hair into ponytails or whatever, or I don't usually have it down all that often. So anyhow, I knit 2 of those, and then I've actually started a third one because you know how it is with a cable pattern that's like, it's a simple repeat. It's just like 8-row repeat. So once you get the pattern all figured out, you know, it just gets to the point where you don't even have to look at the chart anymore. And so I started another one in this blue, which it's a really bulky yarn, so it's not going to, I won't be able to do the same number of repeats, obviously, and it's just an experiment. I'll see how it turns out, but I love the color and I just love this yarn. So it's definitely an acrylic as opposed to these ones, which were made of wool. But I really like it, so I'm kind of excited and hoping that it will turn out right. So I think I better go deal with the dog, and I'll be right back. Just a minute. Okay, well, I have let Gallagher in. I have no idea how this will go. He's just a 1.5 old puppy, and sometimes he likes to bark a lot. So we'll see how it goes. I might have to stop the video and put him out again, but I will try. So anyhow, oh, there goes my captain's clock. That tends to go off every time I record, it seems. It goes every half hour. Anyhow, so the next thing on my list of what I finished was some socks. I made these. The pattern's called Hermione's Everyday Socks, and the yarn I used was lichen and lace. The color was called Garland. And I don't know, something about garland being, you know, you think of a garland with lots of texture. So I decided instead of doing just a plain vanilla sock that I would do the Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern for it. So I just love the way these turned out. I am so excited. I used the Malabrigo Ultimate Sock yarn, the color Oro, for the heel, toe, and cuff. I knit them on the 2.25 millimeter Chiagu Magic Loop needles, 64 stitches cast on. I think I did 15 rounds for the rib, the toe and heel, yeah. But I love the way the yarn looks so different where it's not patterned, because you only do the pattern all the way around the top part, and then when you get to the heel, you only do the pattern along the top half of the sock and leave the bottom half plain. So I love the contrast. I thought they turned out so nice. In fact, I like them so much that I've cast on a new pair of socks, more lichen and lace. This time also doing the Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern. This colorway I used the lichen and lace black walnut for the cuff, and the colorway for the main part is called rhubarb, and it's, yeah, they're just like the perfect autumn sock. I think I'm really loving working on these. The yarn is just, it's just so beautiful, and the pattern is yeah, I just love them. Anyhow, that's something I'm working on. I also wanted to talk a little bit about this, which doesn't look like much when you hold it like that, or even like as a hat. But what it is, it's a messy bun hat. So I have very long hair, and I tend to like to wear it up in a bun a lot. And so what I love about this hat is that I can put all my hair up into a bun and then poke it through the top. So Gallagher's got a squeaky toy now. Slightly better than listening to him bark, but almost quite as annoying. The joys of having a puppy. Anyhow, it works better if I have an elastic, but I just a few. There we are. You can, anyway, it looks better with a messy bun as opposed to a top knot, but I don't have an elastic in front of me and I'm too lazy to get out and get one. And for people without long hair, the hats look great with a pom-pom, especially if you can get one of those faux fur pom-poms. They look awesome. But yeah, so it's a free pattern. I will put the link down below. It's called the Copycat Beanie. And what I really love about this is the fact that it's really reversible. The pattern looks just as nice this way as it does this way. In fact, I'm never really sure which way it's supposed to be. Here, I'll show you a better side. That's obviously, this was, you know, one of the first hats that I knit. And I didn't do a great job on it. For one thing, I used DK weight instead of worsted, so it's smaller than it's supposed to be. And my ribbing, I didn't do the twisted rib it called for. Instead, I ended up with a bit of a mess. But still, I'm planning on making some more of them because it's just a great free pattern. And now I've got some worsted weight left over from my sawtooth hat that I think I can use up, and I'll probably have some worsted left over when I finish my Trinigan, which I'm just working on now. So speaking of my Trinigan, I was really hoping I would have it finished by the time I recorded this episode, but I have not. I think I was a little over ambitious, but I have made a lot of progress on it. It's getting quite large. As you can see, I have finished the left front is, I'll do that. Yeah, I've got the left front done to the shoulder here, and I am just working on the back right now, which I have on another set of needles here. And yeah, so I just have the back and then the left front to do, and then the sleeves. And yeah, so I should have it definitely finished by next month. I probably would have had it done if I hadn't have started and, you know, spent so much time doing headbands. And yeah, also I cast on, finally, I frogged my Felix cardigan that I made. I made this Felix cardigan out of this beautiful Lucky Tweed wool, it's called. I don't know where I put the label. I thought I had left it out so I could hold it up, but nope, I guess not. But I remember it's called Lucky Tweed, and when I find the label, I will post what it is. But it was this beautiful yarn that I made my Felix cardigan with, and my Felix cardigan just didn't fit right. It was really boxy, and it just, yeah, I wasn't wearing it. So after having it sitting in my cupboard for almost a year, I decided to frog it. And then I did a little gauge swatch with it to see if it would work for the Helga, and it was like bang on for the gauge swatch. It was like absolutely perfect. So I'm super excited because I think it'll look really great in that pattern. The Helga's a funny pattern because if you look at the main photo that they have on Ravelry, it doesn't look that nice. I don't know, or maybe it's just me, but I really wasn't drawn to it. It wasn't until I saw it on Charlotte's Place, I believe is the name of her podcast. I think it was in her very first episode, in episode 1, that she showed her Helga. And I thought, wow, I loved it. It's got like the little flowers on it. Just the details are beautiful. So yeah, I cast that on. And also I've been trying to work my way through, I don't know about you, but I've got some blankets on the go. I've always got blankets on the go. I think I've made, couldn't even begin to count how many I've made of what I call my mindless knitting blankets, where I just cast on 25 stitches on size 8 needles and do 25 rows back and forth with this cheap Lions brand yarn, which I'll post the name of it up there because I can't remember it. I think it's Country something or another. But yeah, I just make these 25 stitch by 25 row squares, and then I take a crochet hook and I just crochet a chain stitch around the outside of each in one color, and then sew it all together. And yeah, like I said, I can't even count how many of those things I've made. I just call them my mindless knitting because you just don't have to think at all. It's just straight garter stitch all the way. But they knit up fast. They make a great gift for, housewarming gift or whatever. So I've knit quite a few of those. But what I'm working on right now is I have this old book that I bought years ago called the Sampler Afghan book. And I love this book. It has got 60 different, well, it says easy to knit squares, which, some of them, most of them are. I mean, they're all easy, but just the different details are, I don't know whether you can see or not, but there's just so many different squares that you can make. And so I have been trying to use up all of this cheap, crappy acrylic yarn that I have in my stash that I've had for years by making a square. And I try to do a square in between each project. So, like, for example, I did this one with the leaf, and then this one here with the cable and the little eyelets. But I'll show you, I'll put in a picture here of one that I did for my parents a few years ago, where I tried to match the color scheme that they had in their bedroom, which was green and pink and white. So I made that one for them. And right now, like I said, I'm just trying to use up all the scraps and crappy pieces of acrylic yarn that I have lying around. What do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, this one I just did on my own, trying to really use that more by making a stripe thing. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've got 14 made so far, and you need 20 for a blanket. So yeah, just 6 more to do of these, and so I'll putter away with it with what yarn I have. And if I run out, I'll have to go to the thrift store because everybody always throws this acrylic shit away. Sorry, didn't mean to swear. I tend to swear a lot. I try to edit myself when I'm talking on camera, but yeah. So I've been working on the blanket too, and that's, yeah, taking time. But if anyone is interested in making the blanket, you can find the books used for sale on Amazon and a few other places, but they're quite expensive. However, if you have a Kindle, they have a Kindle version for, I think it's like $7 or $8. It's not too much. I'll put a link in so that you can find it. The patterns are just great to have anyways. But hello, Gallagher. Hello. Hello. Are you gonna come say hi? Come here. Come on. He's a strange dog. He's a very strange dog. Anyhow, yeah, that is probably about it for now. Yeah, I talked about the Helga, the Trinigan, the headband, and my socks I'm working on. Yeah, that's it for this month. Short and sweet. I hope you have happy knitting, and I will catch up with you next month. All right, bye for now.